Hello, hello, hello. It's 5 o'clock New York time, and you are here with Radio Free Wall Street. Oh, my God, the recession is upon us. In today's webcast, I want to talk to you about one of the ugliest things that happen in the economy. It's always been something that the masses don't understand. It's the great equalizer. The rich guys use it to get richer and richer, and the equalizer means that everything people worked for 5, 10, 15 years gets erased in the slowdown, in the wipeout. And we're headed for what's going to be our biggest recession yet, and I think it's going to lead to a depression. And I want to let you know that the yield curve is warning. By August, the yield curve should be inverted, meaning that the short-term rates will be higher than the long-term rates. And by September, October, we should be entering a full-blown recession. Now, what can play with these numbers a little bit is the election, but the problem is that Trump is not mindful of this, and they're a little bit out of control in Washington, as you well understand. Dysfunctional comes to mind. So I want to warn you that if you've got debt, your debt's going to kill you. If you got real estate, the price is going to go down. If you got those high-yield retirement accounts, well, they're about to wipe out. And we are headed for, right now, Latin America debt crisis, and the debt crisis is spreading. Just as we came on air, we got a report that the Venezuela crisis is now spreading far and wide, and Conoco has seized the Venezuela oil company's products from the Isla refinery in Curacao. Now, Curacao is a beautiful part of the world. I've sailed there. I was on the yacht many times. We used to winter there at times. And you got the ABCs. It's Aruba, Bonnier, and Curacao. And they're all the way as far south as you can get in the Caribbean. And the Curacao is part of the Netherlands possession. Beautiful place. But there's a huge refinery there. And I'll tell you what, they got one of the most beautiful deep-water ports in the world. And it's the shit's hitting the fan there. Now, let me explain. This is part of the recession and part of what you need to understand as far as the coming Latin American debt crisis. Now, we've been through the debt crisis before, and as you may recall, what comes first, the debt crisis or the recession, the debt crisis? You know, it's a chicken and egg kind of thing. The problem you've got is that it's all connected. Huge amounts of Latin American debt, and I mean huge, is being held in Goldman Sachs and held in various retirement funds with Blackstone and the Vanguard Group, State Street. These are the four entities that really control the financial system right now. I mean, they are the largest holders of shares of stock. They are the market manipulators. They are the machine of the 401k and retirement scams going on. And these guys have promised high yield. See, the problem is that in the 10 years of virtually no yield with free money, people got convinced you got to have yield. And what I've always tried to educate, teach, and elucidate is that it's not yield if you lose all your goddamn money. You know, new in the business, I was there for the last crisis, well, many years ago. This is during the 70s and 80s, and I remember the Mexican peso. And that time, the scumbags of Wall Street were putting people into high-yield Mexican debt, okay? And it was paying 20 and 30% and 40%, and then all of a sudden the peso wiped out and that 40% wasn't shit. And this is the same situation. Play again, Sam. Now this time, it's more sophisticated. See, back then people had to get to their Merrill Lynch broker. They did a lot of that kind of paper. And the broker would sell you on his high-yield instrument, put you into it. Now, and it was a little bit complicated, okay? Now you get the little calculator, the retirement thing, and you know what, $5,000. You've seen them all over popping up on the Internet. And then what happens is they suck you in, and then they put you into the mutual fund, okay? It's really no muss, no fuss. Here's the mutual fund. We do the investing for you. We have these really super-duper smart managers. And all of a sudden, people are going, wow, I'm getting 7%. Oh, my God. Look at that great yield. Oh, my retirement calculator says I'll be a millionaire of retirement. And the dreams of a beach and a life of luxury and leisure. No care about money sucks people in, only to become the worst freaking nightmare as the recession comes, the one we're in right now. That Latin America debt, there are huge, hundreds of billions of dollars of that thing sitting in baby boomers' retirement funds, 401k, 10k, Kellogg, retard retirement accounts, I call them. And the problem is that the party's just about over. Now, you are starting to see the crisis as we speak with Argentina meeting with the IMF. The Mexican peso has been plunging in value. The Brazilian real is in trouble. They're talking about the sugar market. And this is just these export agricultural small country economies that do not have the diversification that really are basically third world shitholes for a reason. They're heavy on the word shit. You got to love the people. You got to love the country. But understand that these places do not have dynamic, diversified economies. They have a rule of law, kind of. Corruption is the order of the day. I mean, how many Venezuelan, how many officials in Central America, how many in South America have been accused of corruption? Brazil's got their own big corruption scandal going there. It's incredible. And remember, that corruption is basically robbing the money, robbing the very soul of these countries. And baby boomers are happy to send their money down there. I doubt, if you've got these retirement accounts, can you tell me where your money's invested, exactly what instrument, what entity, who's the counterparty? Do you know anything about it? You send your life savings to a fund you don't know, to a person you've never met, on the basis of the ad you saw or the Google search you did, and then you don't know what they buy with your money, and you don't know exactly how it's funded, and you don't know how money's going to come back. So you talk about a leap of faith. Why would you not stuff your cash into the First National Bank, your mattress nice and legal-like? Why wouldn't you go to Treasury Direct, where you know what it is, the U.S. government Treasury, issued by the Treasury, held by the Treasury in your name, absolutely 1,000,000% going to be there? But no. A little bit of greed, a few more extra points and interest, make you go into deep shit that's going to wipe out. How about this corporate debt and the high-yield corporate bond market? Another recession crisis in the making, okay? The big corporations, the big guys, they have got their debt in order, okay? They have got Apple, they've got huge amounts of cash like Apple, okay? But you get to these second-tier companies, and they're desperate for funds. And they've borrowed huge amounts of money at what was remarkably low rates. In fact, the rates they paid you for having junk bond debt didn't even get close to covering you for the risk you were taking. Of course, you probably didn't know about the risk if you're like the average people who invest like a fool. Now what's happening is a lot of that debt's coming up for refinancing, and the debt has soared. You got an economic slowdown, which means they're not doing as much business as they were. You have got debt interest rates skyrocketing, which means it costs them more to refinance. And that's the very time they go tapioca, broke, BK, adios, see you later, default. And default is going to be the name of the junk bonds the next 2 years. We are headed for a recession. Like I said, the yield curve is already flattening, and the auctions have been a disaster. The most Treasury debt ever issued in the history of America under the Trump administration. Have you, my conservative friends, because Donald Trump has waved his magic wand and told you how great you're going to be again, and you buy into that shit, have you forgot about the debt crisis? Have you forgot about the financing? Have you forgot about the deficits? It's all okay. It wasn't okay under Obama. It wasn't okay under other administrations. But all of a sudden, on Donald Trump, nobody talks about it. This is the stormy weather bullshit. I can kill somebody right on Madison Avenue and not get in trouble. Okay, well, he's going to kill the economy. And believe me, you're going to get in trouble. We are headed for a recession. You've got the timing of it. You better prepare. Now, when this recession hits, the defaults will skyrocket. Latin American debt crisis is just around the corner. The currencies are crashing there. The entire economy is headed for its biggest recession ever. And what do they offer you? Well, don't worry. By the time the elections come, the Laffer curve will kick in. Corporate investment will be giving jobs and jobs, high pay, high profits. The profits will roll into Treasury, balance the budget, no more deficits. That's the bullshit they're spewing. And you go, well, okay, let's take a look at it. Where's this corporate investment going to come from? The Fed is tightening, which means they're taking away the punch bowl, taking away the money. Rates are skyrocketing. You know, you've gone from a 0.25% rate. You're going to be at, 3 by the end of the year, 3.5% next year, 4% by the time we get through 2019. By that time, you have 4% on the front end of the curve. Back end of the curve will be at 3%, maybe 2.75 as the rates start going back down. So what's happening is you're going to go up on the front end, eventually at 5%, and on the back end, you're going to go down, 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 down. Let's not even get into discussion of negative yields. That might be a little too confusing at this point. So where does this come from? Where's this prosperity? Corporations are not banking the windfalls they're bringing back. What are they doing with the money? Well, they are investing in plants. They aren't giving their employees raises. They are not hiring and training more people. They are not paying out bonuses. except to the corporate elite. And they're doing it in terms of stock buyback. They're doing it in terms of dividends. And that means that the money is gone. Why are they doing that? Because they've got nothing to invest in. They know we're headed for a recession. They know what their numbers look like. They know they can't manufacture in the United States. Trump just said this weekend that he wants to bring automobile jobs back to America. Why? The automobile industry is already in a slowdown. The competition is fierce. General Motors is trading at 6 times earnings. It's a very marginal company at best with huge legacy debt. Why the fixation on automobiles? Oh, that's because your swing voters come through. Why don't you talk to me about high-level tech jobs? Why don't you talk to me about the new jobs available in this whole 3D virtual reality world? What about robotics? Why don't we talk about those kind of jobs? Well, you got to understand that. And if you don't understand it, then it's kind of hard to talk about it. So you talk about what you know. Coal mines, steel mills, aluminum mills, and anything else Wilbur Ross can blow into your, whisper into your left ear. This is crazy shit, guys. We are headed for a wipeout. We are headed for a slam, damn, thank you, man economy that's going to go down, stay down. We are headed for a major recession. And everyone's talking about, well, is Donald Trump going to get the plastic explosive prize? Who gives a shit? Is anyone understanding that the opioid crisis, the crime rate in rural America is as a result that people are losing their place in the world? They can't support their families. The jobs aren't there. The pay is not there. Is anyone actually sitting down and saying and looking at what the hell's going on here? Or is this just all blow and go? In other words, what you're going to have is just Donald Trump ruling by proclamation. Remember, a lot of things he's doing by presidential decree. Okay, there is no support for these things. There's no legislation backing this up, which means there's no permanence, which means it's so far just blow and go bullshit. There's no tariffs against steel. There is no declaring China currency manipulator. Right now, he's just backing down on these deals. What do you do? What you see is this pattern, this great big publicity stunt, you know, with the first responders and the steel guys, and the guy gets off his D9 and he goes there, and Donald Trump brings him to the White House and slaps him on the back and tells him how great he is as a coal miner and how great he is as a steel guy, and he signs the proclamation, the photo op. Then the Secret Service boots him the hell out. They go back to their shitholes and wonder what the hell happened because that pay raise didn't come, and that higher paying, that bonus didn't come, and the hiring didn't come. All of a sudden they're going, wait a minute, there's something wrong. By that time, they're basically had their 5 minutes of glory, and now they're nobodies, and nobody's listening to them. No one cares what they say. So we're in a situation where this is the game. It's the Trump stump, the Trump dump, the Trump publicity stunt, and it's not working. It's not changing the equation. It's not bringing back the prosperity. We're headed for a recession. The debt auctions are out of control. The deficit is soaring. The budget is a mess. Businesses are seeing and cutting back left and right. Car automobile sales are plunging across the board. And nobody's talking about it. It's kind of amazing. You got a Latin American debt crisis with the Mexican peso falling. Venezuela is going for grabs in its next elections. You've got a situation where Colombia is destabilized. Mexico, the peso is falling against the dollar, and you got a new socialist lefty president coming to town who hates Donald Trump and is hated by the Mexican business people and loved by the masses. So another Latin American states moves another step closer to socialism. Is that going to be any good for the economy? What about the investors down there? Okay, so you're shutting down the car factories. Is anyone thinking about what we're doing? At some point, do you realize, well, wait a minute. Those car factories that are taking advantage of cheap Mexican labor are owned by American companies. So that profit comes back to America. And most of the car production in Mexico doesn't come back to the United States. It goes in other third world shitholes taking advantage of the cheaper labor. Is anyone mature enough to understand this, understand the trade flows? I mean, car companies don't locate plants in Mexico to take jobs away from Americans. They locate the plants in Mexico so they can be competitive. They've got to offset the U.S. labor rate, which is extremely high, against a much lower one, because that's what their competitors are doing. So how does this fantasy all work? How do companies get enticed to bringing back car companies in America, assembling the cars in America with the highest labor costs, among the highest labor costs in the world? How do they compete? Okay, how do they stay in business, okay? This is a situation that, you know, with Presidente blow and go and the bullshit con job, you got to wake up and go, whoa, wait a minute. Hillary's not in the swamp anymore, and Hillary didn't do this. And Hillary didn't make these tax break bonanza. Hillary did not put this budget through. The deep state wasn't there forcing Donald Trump to do that funny little Pokemon knife signature he does. He did it all by himself. He's a big boy. The question is, the tax break bonanza for billionaires, the states are going broke. State budgets are a mess. People cannot afford to stay in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. In California, they're seeing a huge move of people out of there. How does this work well? How does this actually compute into more jobs, higher pay, more bonuses? What we're seeing is just the opposite. Okay, we're seeing the job growth at the lowest and lowest paying jobs. We're seeing higher paying jobs disappearing. We are seeing banks and the big institutions that were high paying closing their branches, moving their technology, moving their back office services offshore. Okay, no one's talking about it. It's like they're saying in their statements, "Oh yeah, we're going to correct our trading losses and slow down our trading revenue because we are going to reduce headcount." Okay, it's amazing how the talking heads on Wall Street don't read to you that part of the statement from these companies. They are not hiring people in America. They are not paying bonuses to their employees. They are not giving them pay raises. They aren't training people from the factories to become loan officers and CPAs and accountants because they can't do it. It doesn't make any sense. Why? I got robo-loan officer. I got algorithm trader. These jobs are being eliminated. They are gone forever. And no one's talking about it. And now we're headed to recession. Latin America's recession is coming because of Donald Trump's policies. Okay? The Fed is raising rates to offset its huge budget gaps, okay? That's collapsing Latin America debt, and that's debt you hold. See, we say, "Oh, shit, who gives a shit? They're taking their job, they're gangbangers, job-killing drug." No, sucker. You wrote your check, and you gave it to these people, and they told you about the retirement savings. They gave you the calculations showing the return. You never bothered to find out what you're doing. That Latino piece of shit, well, guess what? He's the one that's got to pay back your retirement. He's going to do it. That shithole that Donald Trump refers to Latin American countries, well, your money's there, and they don't have it. It's gone. They can't pay you back. They can't pay the interest on the loan. They can't stand the dollar conversion. They can't stand the higher interest rates. It's gone. You hear me? Gone, wiped out. Now, eventually, in the next year or two, they'll tell you about it, and you'll figure it out. And you go, "Oh, God damn, what am I going to do now?" Well, go back in that goddamn coal mine. Go back in that assembly work. Wait till you're 80 years old and hope it all works out. I mean, you bought a line of bullshit. You bought this bullshit story. It sounds really good. Listen, I admit it. It sounds good. Bringing back jobs from the job-stealing places like China and Mexico. Well, wait a minute. Who bought the Chinese goods? You did. China didn't come in with a gun and say, "Hey, buy our Chinese-made shit." I mean, every retail in America tried doing the Made America shit. Nobody wanted it. People said, "Bullshit. I'm buying the cheapest one. I don't care." All right. Well, what exactly did China do supplying the market with low-priced, cheap shit goods that break in your hands? People bought them. No one made you buy it. Same thing with the car. When you go to your car, you want to pay $5,000 for your pick-em-up truck? Extra? Upon the outrageous truck you have already? That's what you're talking about. So this is a ridiculous situation. Is anybody an adult in the room? Is anyone understanding what we're doing? You throw the immigrant worker out, fine. Stop him at the border, machine gun him. I don't give a shit. Let the bodies stack up there and let the flies eat them, okay? Maybe turn them into Soylent Green, or better yet, fertilizer. Red-blooded American fertilizer, for red-blooded farms. I mean, what exactly is anyone thinking about the ramifications of these things? I mean, the countries you're collapsing, the countries you're in hard talks about trade, well, guess what? You got American companies investing in there, and you have American investors in their retirement funds there. What goes around comes around, and nothing can be more true about that than a trade situation. What are we doing? What are we thinking about? You let this demagogue feed you full of bullshit and you believed it? I mean, I know he's really cool and he's going to kick ass, but exactly what? Kim Young-Nunchuck, I'll give you credit. Kim Young-Nunchucks said, "Yeah, Donald, baby, I love it. Who loves you, baby, Donald? We're giving up the nukes. Yep, we're ready to negotiate. Hell yeah." And by the way, my first gesture is I'm going to demilitarize our nuclear test site. I went, are people that stupid? It's a nuclear bomb exploded there. There's nothing to decommission. It's all a radiated mountain. Do you understand that? It's caving in. And when it caves in, it's going to spew radiation all over China. It's a big problem. Okay, there's nothing accomplished there. Well, can you use your brain? The guy got a bomb. He blew it up underground, hollowed out the mountain, created an earthquake, and the mountain's about to cave in. When it caves in, all that radiated dust is going to fly in the atmosphere. He goes, "Hey, Donald, come on over here, buddy. Yeah. You want to cut the ribbon here as we denuclearize our nuclear test?" How do you denuclearize it? It's already decommissioned. You blew the shit out of the goddamn thing. Now, because that's so hard to... Hey, over there in Peoria. Hello, Peoria. Can you figure it out? The nuclear test site? They blasted a nuclear bomb there. It's already decommissioned because it's a radiation dump from the bomb. It's done decommissioned. It's done. It's broke. You can't ever use it again. You can't even get by it. 30,000 years from now, let me know if the half-life's over with. I mean, are people that incredibly stupid? We get a Peace Prize? Kim Jong-un's like, in fact, we're going to donate this old test site to America, and maybe America can come and clean it up. Won't that be cool, you know? So the stupidness is beyond belief. The art of the deal? What deal? He's going to give up his nukes? Okay, yeah. He's going to deliver them to the port? Oh, I know. We're going to let inspectors go wherever they want in North Korea to find the hidden nukes. What are you talking about? The bomb can fit in the back of a pickup truck. You're going to find that son of a bitch? Right. Very good. No problem. What, a 35-foot long tube that's the rocket? 3 feet wide? Oh, you're going to find those? Really? Talk about a needle in a haystack, huh? There's no verification. There's no way to do it. There's stupid shit with Iran. Right now, as we speak, our allies are trying to figure out if they want to tell America to go screw itself and then put the sanctions over there. And everyone's saying, well, you know, how much is American business worth to us in this world we're looking at? How much really is the cost as versus the benefit? And people are starting to do a risk assessment. They're going, well, you know, if we all agree to get together here, maybe we can tell Donald Trump to take the sanctions and kick his ass. We're going to do business with Iranians, and you can't stop us. So Donald Trump's now backing away. He's told the Russians to be cool. And this is all part of that countdown to the recession. Because let me tell you what's happened. When you start things in orbit, okay, and you start a trajectory, well, once it's blasted off, it's like shooting an arrow in the air. Where it lands, I don't care. Well, you shot the goddamn arrow. It's in the air. You already done it. Where it lands is your problem because you can't stop it. And Donald Trump has set in motion trade wars. He has set in motion this nuclear battle with Kim Jong Nunchucks. He's set in battle the sanctions war and tariffs with the Canadians, with the Japanese, with the South Koreans, with the Mexicans. Now what happens, these things spin out of control. You think people would go, oh, Donald, Mexico here. Yeah, well, you're great again. Whatever you say, Donald, it's the art of the deal. You convince me, goddamn, what to talk to you. Really? You really think the negotiations are going that way? Or do you think they're flipping the bird? And what about China? You think China's really going to go, well, Donald, let's have a conversation here, buddy, baby. Who loves you, Donald? Come on over. Remember the Peking duck in the big red room there? I mean, you're setting these situations up for failure. You're setting up a situation where this is not going to work well. What's Iran going to do? As we speak, Iranian diplomats are fanning out all over Europe to talk to former allies. Going, yeah, the conversation goes, well, Donald Trump's crazy. Boy, I know, he's putting trade sanctions against us. We didn't visit with America since World War II, okay? We had great ties here in England. Here we had great ties in Europe and France. I don't know what's going on with this guy. He's a real menace. Well, what do you want to do? Well, he got these billions and billions of dollars of trade deals with you. We're not going to throw them away. At some point, did anyone in the White House ask the question of, are we getting into the people we're starting trade wars with? We now want them to join us with sanctions against Iran? Did anyone understand that, you know, maybe like McCain said, fuck you, and went ahead and voted against Obamacare? Remember that? I think it was beautiful. Flipped on the bird. That's my kind of man, you know. Kiss my ass, Donald. And listen to me. You love Donald? I don't give a shit. I love him too. But the reality is he's screwing up big time. And are you going to love him when your IRA, 10K, 401, REK is broke? You love him when your retirement gun goes, I'm sorry. They do this. Sorry. Well. We got a little problem here, but we're going to work it out real quick here. We're just settlement negotiation, okay? How many people I know have their retirement funds wiped out already? Calipers? Right. New York, New Jersey teachers? Right. Miami healthcare workers? Shit. Illinois? Oh, that's going to be a real fun one. Oh, you were supposed to get $5,000 a month? Well, here's your $50. Don't call us next month. We'll let you know we got any dispersal for you. That's how this shit's going to go. And you're entering a recession. And Venezuela going to go, I can't pay you. Mexico's going to go, take the money out of the wall, Donald. And Venezuela's going, never mind. I mean, this is shit. hitting the fan, folks. This is the real deal. All this bullshit. You fell in love with the bullshit artist. He waves his hands and America will no longer be taken advantage of again. I promise you. Really? Donald, you couldn't pay off Stormy and shut the bitch up. What's wrong with you? Your bag man couldn't do the bag job with all the phone companies and shit, right? General Electric, AT&T. I mean, exactly. I mean, screw ups are us. You couldn't do a bag deal with the Russians on the money laundering thing. That's all over the place. Mueller's on top of that. Your son's going down, Junior. Oh, your son-in-law. Well, you can forget that boy, huh? Well, she can move back in the house with you until he gets out. 20 years is not that long. Besides, a cute guy like that, he might get light duty, and, if he has the right boyfriend, he'll be all right. I mean, are you looking at what's going on here? You bought into the Laffer curve? Oh, we're going to give tax breaks to billionaires, and they're going to invest more money in America? And we said, no, they're not. And, oh, yeah, they're going to make America great again, bringing factory jobs. Really, no jobs coming back. The tax bill pays them to take jobs away. You're in a recession. This is the Trump recession. This is a direct result of crazy shit. Okay, this is a result of a huge budget deficit that's got to be financed. Corporations are not paying more taxes, they're paying less. Individuals who are supposed to have the tax break are paying more. You're punishing New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, California with higher taxes. Is this going to really work out well? Really, really, really? You really believe that? Is there anything inside of you that says, well, maybe we ought to look at this thing? Maybe I don't hear anybody talking about bonuses, and I don't hear anybody talking about high pay, and I don't hear any about really relocating jobs from China here. How do you do that? How do you do that, okay? It's all blow and go and bullshit, folks. The greatest con man ever has become President of the United States. Really, really, really. Let's talk straight. We're headed for a recession. Now, is that a possibility in your brain at all? Well, we got the lowest jobs in 30. Okay, yeah, you got the lowest jobs since 2000. And with a workforce much smaller than the 2000 workforce. So when you had a lower jobs, you had more people working. You have the shortest work week ever. You have no pay increase. And your jobs are on the lowest paying menial labor that doesn't contribute big pay to anybody. How long can you go like that? When do you wake up and say, I don't know, don't see no real jobs here except in the damn coal mine? I mean, when a bullshit artist tells you what he's going to do, when do you look and say, well, where's the wall? Where's the China currency manipulator? He's putting sanctions against China. He backed away from that now. Where exactly is all this coming from? How does all this work out? I want to see the details. I don't want to hear the bullshit. Why are you going to a factory town with a bunch of people with hard hats to make your announcement? Where is the papers? Show me the numbers. Show me that. It's not too complicated. I really can figure it out. I got a math guy in the back room there. He does all my algorithms for me. So where is the detail? Where is the reality? I mean, I know there's a deep state conspiracy. I know that the FBI is going against you and those are all Democrats. Okay, there's all that shit. I don't care. I don't give a shit who they are. I don't care if they got a hard-on for you, Mr. President. I don't care. I want to know what you're doing with the economy. I want to see how all this bullshit works out. I want to see how putting sanctions against Iran works out in the best interest of America and puts jobs in America. I want to see that. By the time you get into driving season, people will be paying $3 for gasoline. It could go as high as $4 in many areas. That doesn't cause more driving. That causes less. Airline fares are fixing to skyrocket. These airlines did not hedge this year's increase in oil price and kerosene. They're going to pass it along, okay? So that $5 that lady got, you remember that one? Oh, Donald, I saved $1.35 a week, and now I can pay for my club membership. Thank you. $1.35. Holy shit, lady. What would you do for a potato and a pizza? So the answer is, this is some crazy shit. It's not real, okay? The tax increases alone, with the losses of people, more than offset anything that Donald Trump's done in the economy. And now if you got a tax, like I got $800 a year, well, okay, give me another $3,000 a year in gasoline and heating charges, okay, because the money came out of the other pocket. So what do they really save? These stupid-ass policies are driving oil prices, gasoline prices higher. I guess the people can afford it the least. Exactly where is the thinking behind what we're doing here? What exactly is the end game? Well, you know what it is? None of it makes any sense until you understand this. We're headed for that recession, okay? And now what you got to do is blow enough blizzard of bullshit so people don't figure it out, at least as long as possible. And now what you got to do You got to keep Trump in the news as the hero. I told you I would make great trade deals, and I am. He had a drug meeting on Friday, okay? All the drug guys. I thought, holy shit, great. He's going to cut out the middlemen and force Social Security and the big drug use consumers to negotiate with the drug companies as a block. He didn't do it. He got a promise from them that they're going to work with him lower rate. You got to say, you know what? We're going to do like Europe does. You big drug companies, we're going to negotiate for all of the medicine you're selling, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, all of it. Okay, we're going to do a block negotiation, and we're looking for quantity price discounts. You go, what happened? Like they said, the drug companies went home and they said, thank you, lobbyists. We'll write you that $1 million check. Appreciate it. Did your job real good. I don't know how you talked Donald into it. And bring me the champagne and the caviar, and it's a party. This weekend party. The drug guys all their stocks soared. Why? Because there's going to be no discount. There was no negotiation. If you had block negotiated with the power of what drugs are bought by the various government agencies, oh my God, like the Veterans Hospital, VA, oh my God. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid payments, dealing with, you could beat him down. Didn't do it. Why? All he wanted was a publicity stunt to bullshit you. Let's see. Okay, I got to wait. You think your medicine price is going to come down? I want to see it, okay? Your copay's going down? Really? You really believe that? You got a bullshitter that is feeding you so full of shit. Every day he wakes up and goes, okay, who can I make an asshole of next? We got the Iran sanctions. I told you would take away the sanctions of West Steel. You didn't stop them from duking. You didn't stop the agreement, okay? You didn't accomplish any of that. What's going on with NAFTA? There's no negotiation there. There's no thing. China. All I see is a headline about steel, grade, and coal mines and all this bullshit, and I go, okay, well, where's the follow-through? Show me how you're making coal great again, exactly. Show me how steel, where are the tariffs against the big producers to protect the industry, if that's what you want to do? Where are the factories closing in Mexico coming back to the United States? Where is the NAFTA agreement renegotiated? Guys, hello, it's a wake-up call. It's just bullshit. It's just a negotiation. It's just a PR stunt. I got the best ratings of any president. I don't want a president with ratings. This is not a goddamn TV show, fool. This is the United States of America. You're supposed to be president. We don't care if the networks are listening to you and you've got a headline. He's all over the place. When I do my searches, Donald Trump stroked this, Donald Trump jived that, Donald Trump bullshit this. It's so ridiculous. You sit there and you go, oh, my God. And the media is not doing their job. They're missing the important stories. I mean, did the media really do the job on, what's going on in Venezuela? Are you really aware of it? Are you aware of the wipeout that's going on in Latin America? You worry about the coming recession? You worry about the biggest debt auctions ever? You got to search for the news. It's just not out there. I don't give a shit about what Comey did. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about Cohen, all that bullshit. I want things of sustenance, okay? This whole investigation is going to blow up in his face, and he knows it. This is about a publicity stunt. This is about a con man getting your attention somewhere else. This is about a recession that's going to be hidden by the fall. And this is about a yield curve that will be inverted by August. If you don't know what that means, maybe you should goggle. I've explained it over and over again. But you got to understand something. This is not going well. We're entering a recession. We're entering another Latin America debt crisis, and there is no one at the switch other than, I got the Laffer curve, and corporations are going to be bringing jobs back here, and they're making big investments in America, and they'll be paying more taxes. And all I can say is the amount of taxes the corporations pay keep dropping and dropping. There are no factories coming back from China, my friends. Nobody's doing a U-turn out of Mexico. That's all bullshit.